it's safe to say that Stacy and I have both felt pretty much every emotion imaginable over the last few weeks. But the greatest has been love. Willow, your mom and I are so proud of you. We love you so much. We always smiled at your kind heart, your organizing neighborhood cleanup days, your selling slime to help a friend, or your funeral for a guinea pig. There are very few hearts in this world as big as yours. We love you. Devon, do you remember that talk we had in the garage? Not the one by the power tools. That was a totally different conversation. The one where I knew you guys were interested in each other and you wanted to get to know each other. And I told Willow, I said, Willow, I love you. Devon, I think I like you. But I had a little time to know. Well, now I know. So now I love you. And we love your family. I'm happy Willow found you, someone like you.
How does it feel to have a room full of people who love you so much gather here to celebrate your marriage? A lot of work, a lot of love has gone into it. Savor this beautiful moment. We're all so happy for you because marriage is that special arrangement that's going to halve your sorrows, it's going to double your joys, and it's going to quadruple your expenses. Now, it's interesting to note that every culture on earth observes the marriage arrangement in which a man and a woman unite to establish their own family. But it's an arrangement that not only spans every culture on this planet, but it spans across every generation back in time, all the way to the first man and woman in the Garden of Eden. It's that of a solid institution. And so let's refer in the Bible to Genesis chapter 2. We're going to start in verse 15 and see what the Bible has to say about the first marriage and what lessons we can learn from that. So after Jehovah created Adam from the dust, in Genesis 2:15, it says, Jehovah God took the man and settled him in the Garden of Eden to cultivate it and to take care of it. Now imagine you were given that assignment, you're all alone, and you're asked to take care of this huge expanse of land. Even something like this vineyard. Imagine if you by yourself were asked to take care of this vineyard. A huge assignment, let alone something like the state of North Carolina or by extension the whole world. And so as Adam applied himself and he's studying the animals and the trees and how he can best take care of it, we have to appreciate that there was no human companionship. He did speak with Jehovah every day, but basically Adam worked alone, he ate alone, he planned and researched and thought and meditated alone, and in time he became very lonely. And notice what Jehovah said as he's looking on at Adam's situation. Genesis 2:18, then Jehovah God said, it is not good for the man to continue to be alone. I am going to make a helper for him as a complement. So Jehovah recognized that a man alone is not a good arrangement. He needs help. He needs another individual to complete him. And Jehovah so said, I'm going to create a helper for him as a complement. Now that word complement doesn't mean a lesser partner, nor does it mean a duplicate partner. But a complement is the second half of a unit that makes a complete whole. So it was complementary, like a scarf is to an outfit, a frame is to a picture, a nice dessert following a main course. These complement and complete that unit. And so the wife, Willow, your role was to serve as helper and to complete Devon. That was Jehovah's arrangement, and that you would then work together in serving Jehovah together. Well, so what did Jehovah do? Well, let's continue. Genesis 2, verse 21 and 22. It says, so Jehovah God caused the man to fall into a deep sleep. And while he was sleeping, he took one of his ribs and then closed up the flesh over its place. And Jehovah God built the rib that he had taken from the man into a woman, and he brought her to the man. So we know from the context that Adam was created from the dust directly, but Eve was taken from his side, from a rib, and showing that close union that was to exist. And once Jehovah was done creating Eve, he brought her to the man. And how did he respond? Can you imagine? He's just there working on some project and he looks up, instantly recognized, this is my mate. And he fell head over heels in love with her. And let's read what he says in verse 23. When he says, then the man said, this is at last bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. This one will be called woman because from man she was taken. So that expression, at last, doesn't that just say it all? Hopefully that Doesn't that just say it all? At last. He had been waiting for his companion. He had been waiting for his partner, and here she was, and he was just ecstatic, and he bursts out into poetry because he was so happy. So Adam recognized her, Jehovah bringing them together, and then Jehovah gives some explanation to set the foundation for the family unit. In verse 24, Jehovah goes on to say, that is why a man will leave his father and his mother, and he will stick to his wife, and they will become one flesh. You see, and that was Jehovah's guidelines. This was the first marriage. So Jehovah not only instituted the marriage arrangement, but he actually conducted the first marriage. It was simple, it was dignified, it was to be a permanent arrangement in which two complementary halves now become one flesh. And so this was the beginning of the marriage. And here we all are, thousands of years later, on the other side of the earth, following that marriage arrangement in much the same way as Jehovah did it in the beginning. Now, to help us get a little illustration or mental picture of how this is to work, please turn with me to Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 12. And this is basically discussing a principle between friends, that more friends working together are better than just one person alone. And Ecclesiastes 4:12 reads, and someone may overpower one alone, but two together can take a stand against him. And here's the word picture. A threefold cord cannot quickly be torn apart. Now, it's referring to a rope with 3 strands to it. And the question is, why do you have a cord when you have these fibers, and if they're placed side by side or end to end, and you pull on it, it's going to slip, it's going to slide. So they tend to twist those fibers together because that locks them all in place and makes those fibers so much stronger. And then if you take 3 cords and you twist those together, that makes that rope even stronger and, as an aside point, more flexible as well. And if you go to any hardware store and say, I just want a regular piece of rope, that's what you're going to get, is a 3-fold 3-cord that is the optimal arrangement to this day. So we have that nice picture. So the husband is 1 cord, the wife makes up the other cord, but who's the 3rd cord? Well, that's Jehovah. And so if pleasing Jehovah is the prime concern of both husband and wife, then Jehovah becomes a real part of that marriage. And that 3-fold cord, Devon and Willow and Jehovah together, becomes very, very strong arrangement. And that's what Jehovah wants for you. That's what you want. And that's what all of us want, is that strong, strong marriage relationship. When I asked Devon what drew him to you, Willow, this is what he said, and I'm quoting now. He says, one main quality I love about Willow is her selflessness. She never puts herself ahead of anyone. And in any decision we have to make, she always asks how I feel about it, making sure we're both happy with the outcome. Her loving attitude towards me is something that has never strayed from the time we've been together. I am truly grateful for the constant reassurance and love she provides. Isn't that beautiful? What a wonderful beginning that you've provided with your good qualities, Willow, and how we appreciate the nice foundation you both have for that happy marriage. So the counsel, the encouragement is continue to look ways to show love and respect for each other every day. They asked over 700 marriage counselors, what's the biggest marriage breaker? What's the biggest problem that causes couples to fail? And almost unanimously they said, failure to communicate. So one way we can show that love is to give time to really discuss and hear each other out. Listen to what is being said, listen to what is not being said, and listen to how it's being said. And Devon, you're going to be pretty soon a master of recognizing the look. The look can be with eyebrows or cocked head or forehead wrinkles. Learn when you see the look to reconsider whatever it is you're doing. And you see, as we pick up, we'll get quicker and quicker to respond to these things, and that will really continue to cement your relationship. Don't settle for a Cold War relationship where we just have two people who with anger working together. Don't settle even for a peaceful coexistence where you're just working together but toward a purpose, but without much feeling together. Strive to really continue to cultivate the qualities, even under challenging situations where you have that beautiful, loving, intimate relationship that makes marriage and life such a joy. So Devon and Willow, the joy that you're now experiencing is only the beginning. And it's going to get stronger and more meaningful, more powerful as you continue to serve Jehovah together. It will not be an accident. It will be an accomplishment as you both really work hard at that relationship. Relationships take effort, but this is Jehovah's beautiful marital arrangement that you're about to enter, and all of us here wish you the greatest happiness and all of Jehovah's blessings on your union. So with that established, we'd now like to move on to the vows.
I, Devon Sedlacek, take you, Willow Sutton, to be my wedded wife, to love and to cherish, in accordance with the divine law, as set forth in the Holy Scriptures for Christian husbands, for as long as we both shall live together on earth, according to God's marital arrangement.
I, Willow Sutton, take you, Devon Sedlacek, to be my wedded husband, to love and to cherish, in respect, in accordance with the divine law as set forth in the Holy Scriptures for Christian wives, for as long as we both shall live together on earth, according to God's marital arrangement.
These rings are an outward and visible sign signifying to all the uniting of this man and this woman in bonds of matrimony. So for as much as Devon Sedlacek and Willow Sutton have covenanted before Jehovah God and all these witnesses to accept each other in wedlock, I, as an ordained minister on the authority conferred to me by the Holy Scriptures and the state of North Carolina, pronounce that they are husband and wife together. What God has yoked together, let no man put apart. So to all of you at this marriage gathering, it is my great pleasure to introduce to you Brother and Sister Sedlacek. And Devon, you may now kiss your bride.
Both of you, as we look to the future, we're excited for you, we're happy for you. But just remember, always look for the best in each other, always show love first, and always keep Jehovah in your marriage. Also, if Willow gives you advice on how fast to hit a jump on a dirt bike, don't take her advice.